What it looks like to have a right relationship with Jesus Christ, with God, is first of all, loving God with all of your heart, your innermost being. Second, loving God with all your soul. Your soul in the Bible is not that eternal part of you. The Bible calls that your spirit. Your soul is your makeup. It's your personality, your character traits, all of your idiosyncrasies and your dysfunctions, the whole thing. That's your soul. Love God with all your soul and love God with all your mind. The word translated mind there means choices or will. Love God with all your will, with all of your choices. But then what happens after Jesus says this is the greatest single command, then he connects a second commandment that is linked to it. It's linked by the word relationship. We look at it in verse 39. It's still one command, one great command, the first commandment, but now it becomes the linking of two commands together to make one. It's a difficult math problem, but stay with me. Matthew 22, verse 39. A second commandment, meaning a second commandment, is equally important. The word translated equally important means linked to be linked to. And so Jesus is saying, look, this second commandment is linked to the first to make one commandment. Here it is, the end of verse 39. Love your neighbor as yourself. So let's clear up the obvious first. Jesus is not saying to love yourself, okay? It sells a lot of books. It just doesn't happen to be in the Bible. Jesus is not saying love yourself. And don't buy into this wackiness. First, you have to love yourself before you can love others. Yeah, no. Yeah. All right, throw that book away. Jesus is not saying love yourself. We don't need encouragement to do that. We do that on our own, by our own flesh, sin nature. Jesus is restating what our culture calls the golden rule, right? This is something that I was told long before I was Christian, long before I was ever in the church or ever read the Bible. You know the golden rule. I'm going to put it on the wall. You just write it in your margin in Matthew 22. Write Matthew 7, verse 12. Matthew 7:12 is the golden rule. It's on the wall for you. It says, do to others whatever you would like them to do to you. This is the essence of all that is taught in the law and the prophets. This is what Jesus is saying in verse 39. You stay in Matthew 22. We're not done there. Matthew 22:39. This is what Jesus is saying, he's saying, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Love them as you would have them love you. Do you get it? It's the second part of a single command, the greatest commandment about relationships. There is a vertical relationship that is the greatest command, and then linked to it is our horizontal relationships, which are the second part of the greatest commandment. Does it make sense? So the greatest commandment is about relationships, right vertical relationship with God, right horizontal relationships with others.